I'll analyze the content, fact check the statements made, and explain why they are misleading or incorrect. Analysis and fact checking. Claim the whole world is waiting for Biden's speech at the Democratic Party convention in Chicago. Fact check. This is an exaggeration. While Biden's speeches are certainly significant, particularly in the context of U.S. politics, the claim that the whole world is waiting for it is an overstatement. Global attention on such events varies, and it is not accurate to suggest that every nation or people around the world are equally invested in it. Claim. If Harris wins in November, the country could face a new civil war. Fact check. This is a highly speculative and alarmist statement. While political polarization in the U.S. is a concern, there is no credible evidence to suggest that a civil war is imminent, regardless of the election's outcome. Such rhetoric is typical of fear-mongering tactics used to destabilize public confidence and create a narrative of inevitable chaos. Claim, historians and representatives of the Reconstruction movement see direct parallels with the 1860s. Fact check. While there are discussions among some historians about the current political divide in the U.S., comparing today's situation directly with the pre-Civil War era of the 1860s is misleading. The context, causes, and dynamics of today's political environment are significantly different. The U.S. has robust democratic institutions designed to manage conflicts through legal and political means, unlike the situation that led to the Civil War. Claim, the Democratic Party will vote like in the old days, choosing from one candidate determined by the party leadership. Fact check. This statement distorts the reality of how Democratic primaries work in the U.S. While it's true that the Democratic Party leadership has significant influence, the primary process involves multiple candidates and votes from the party's members and delegates. The process is much more democratic than the statement implies, and to suggest otherwise is to misrepresent how U.S. political parties function. Claim the Democratic Party is the most pro-British party, consistently supporting an alliance with Britain, which they established as the Anglo-Saxon world. Fact check. The idea that the Democratic Party is the most pro-British and created the Anglo-Saxon world is an oversimplification. The U.S.-UK relationship, often referred to as the special relationship, has been a pillar of U.S. foreign policy across both Democratic and Republican administrations. It is not exclusively the domain of the Democratic Party, and framing it this way is misleading. Moreover, the term Anglo-Saxon world is historically loaded and does not accurately describe the diverse and multifaceted nature of U.S. foreign policy. Claim, Democrats created the Federal Reserve System. Fact check. The Federal Reserve System was indeed established under a Democratic president, Woodrow Wilson, in 1913. However, it was the result of broader bipartisan efforts to reform the U.S. financial system following the Panic of 1907. The creation of the Federal Reserve cannot be attributed solely to the Democratic Party's ideology, as it was a complex process influenced by multiple factors and parties. Claim, the Democratic Party's ideology includes expansionism, dominance of financial capital, and Anglo-Saxon world dominance. Fact check. This claim is a gross oversimplification and mischaracterization of the Democratic Party's platform. While the party has supported policies that promote economic growth and maintain strong international alliances, the notion of expansionism and dominance of financial capital as core tenets is misleading. The Democratic Party's platform is much broader and includes a wide range of policies aimed at addressing social, economic, and environmental issues, not just the preservation of financial capital or geopolitical dominance. Claim, Trump has little chance of winning. His focus on personality rather than main issues like economy and migration is a mistake. Fact check. This is speculative and reflects a biased perspective. While it's true that focusing on key issues is important in any campaign, the statement dismisses the complexities of electoral dynamics in the U.S. It also fails to acknowledge that many voters are influenced by a range of factors, including personality, policies, and broader political trends. The outcome of elections is determined by a complex interplay of these factors, and reducing it to a single issue oversimplifies the electoral process. Conclusion. The transcript from Russia 1 contains several examples of disinformation, exaggerations, and misleading statements. The rhetoric used in this broadcast aims to paint a distorted picture of the U.S. political landscape, portraying it as chaotic and on the brink of collapse. These narratives are designed to undermine confidence in democratic institutions and to justify the Russian government's own actions by suggesting that the West, particularly the United States, is in disarray. In reality, while the U.S. faces challenges, its democratic institutions remain robust, and the political process, despite being contentious, functions within the framework of the law and constitution. The Russian state-controlled media often uses such narratives to distract from domestic issues and to propagate a sense of superiority or inevitability regarding Russia's geopolitical stance. It's important to critically analyze such content and understand the broader context in which these statements are made.